Greetings from sunny South Florida. It's time for the Palm Beach Podcast. And the hosts of your show, sports chiropractor and athletic trainer, Dr. James Spencer. Photographer and art director, Mike Jones. Recorded live at the Media Zone podcast studio in Palm Beach County. Relax and enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to the Palm Beach Podcast. My name is Mike Jones. I'm here with my co-host, Dr. James Spencer.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you today, Spence.
Yeah.
It's an awesome day here at Media Zone because we have a chocolatier with us. Why don't you go ahead and introduce our guest?
The real Willy Wonka.
What's going on, guys?
Tyler L.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, we tried to figure out how to pronounce your last name.
Yeah. L is fine. Tyler L works beautifully.
Awesome. And Tyler, you're from 5150 Chocolate down in
Yes,
Delray
sir.
Beach.
Yep.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about your business.
Oh, man, it's been a crazy first year. I mean, we didn't think it was ever going to happen with the way that the city of Delray was going with like permits and everything. It was, I mean, you want to remove a tree, let alone build a chocolate factory. They're going to, every little detail, it's freaking nuts. That took way longer than pretty much anything else. It was a waiting game. Now that we're open, I mean, just figured out a day at a time. It's been crazy, but can't believe it's already been a year.
I mean, and those are the scenes that you don't see in Willy Wonka is where he had to get to the lease to that land and figure out which
do all the water testing for
people,
the city. You
yeah.
have no idea. It's been nuts, man. It's been crazy, but it's been a good time. It's been a lot of fun.
It's so cool because it's nice to have a fellow artist in the studio. Spence has his athletic background where I'm more of a photographer. So,
right on.
We can gang up on him today and
There you go.
absolutely.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
I'll learn a thing or two.
So why don't you share with the listeners a little bit about your origin story and kind of what led you to Palm Beach?
Yeah, born and raised here in Delray, or South Florida, Palm Beach. Moved away for a while. Kind of wanted to get out of this town just because, the kids I grew up around, I love them to death, but like a lot of them were troublemakers, and a lot of them, are still here, or the less fortunate ones aren't here, but they haven't gone on to, California. They're no longer with us. So I wanted to get out of here. My dad's very involved with wrestling. So since at a young age I was wrestling, that transitioned into jiu-jitsu. That was a scramble there.
It's a hard word to say.
It is jiu-jitsu, It flows when it flows. When it doesn't, it definitely doesn't. But that was like my life for a while. And my brother and I were very competitive. And I blew my knee out. So that was kind of my way to escape from South Florida, go to culinary school, moved out to California.
That a boy?
Went Northern California for a while, Southern California, moved to Chicago, was in Tennessee, just like
hopping all over.
Wanted to go work in Bali for a while. I just wanted to travel.
Sure.
I'm a big fan of Bali.
Bali's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Bali's super fun.
That's so wild that you just said that, by the way. Just a quick, I actually tore my knee one summer and learned how to play guitar.
Dude.
So it's cool that you could take an injury and flip that into something that's really positive.
100%. Anytime anything super shitty happens to me, which is quite often, that's my main way of instantly cheering myself up is dude, do something from this that you would have never done if you wouldn't have blown your knee out. Learn something new so you're almost grateful that as bad as it sucks,
correct,
this would have never happened. If I would have never started a chocolate factory, if I would have never blown my knee out, I probably would have still been getting my ass beat on a jiu-jitsu mat somewhere. I mean,
right.
It might be fun, but
chocolate factory is cool though.
I'm glad it happened that way. Yeah.
So what was the transition down to Palm Beach then from Chicago?
Yeah, so from Chicago, ended up working for a guy named Norman Love on the other coast of Florida. Learned a lot from him. He manufactures a lot of bonbons, so he doesn't make the chocolate, but he's a chocolatier. So I learned that side of the craft.
Cool.
And got really hungry just to learn the manufacturing side, which you don't learn anything about in culinary school. It's kind of left for the big guys, and you just buy finished chocolate from Belgium. That's the way it works.
Okay.
So I started building all sorts of weird stuff, like modifying like little lintel grinders and like building little makeshift, like
Fuck yeah.
tore my whole apartment apart. Like it cost a lot of money actually.
Did
Like,
he
didn't get
support that? Or did he know?
He knew, and I thought everyone was impressed with like, holy shit, this kid just made his own chocolate like from his apartment at home. What's going on? But then like it turned into almost like a full blown mania. So they're like equally as like freaked out by it. You know
Like,
what I mean?
fuck.
Yeah, like this kid's kind of losing it. I think like tearing apart bookshelves at his house and attaching drills and doing some weird stuff. But I built like a makeshift little factory. And
So what are you like cutting in on those Easter Bunny sales or?
I'm trying, man. You know?
Yeah,
No. I wasn't messing with anything. Like, I mean, like at that time with his business, there was no competition or anything like that. But he actually, we were gonna at one point kind of, I was gonna do it closer by him, but I just knew I had to do it in my hometown. I just knew that it had to be in Delray Beach.
Hell yeah.
There was no way around that. It had to be here.
That was the vision.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
So is he like a obviously like a mentor for you,
For
right?
sure, yeah. And the guy crushes it. We don't talk often because he's like, I mean, he's on Princess Cruise Line and like he's opened up cafes and Whole Foods with his name on it. Like he's a very big name in it. But he's the man. Yeah, I have him to thank for a lot. For
Hell
sure.
yeah. Hell yeah.
A lot of discipline.
What's
Definitely.
something that you learned from him,
Oh man.
or something funny that he says, or like what's
I mean,
something?
shit, just not to stop. He had a very like practical way of looking things, and there wasn't like a lot of like bullshit. He wouldn't really coddle you. Like if you were doing something wrong, a lot of the times he had this weird way of always like being there, like just appearing. So like you'd be crushing it all day, and then you'd like fuck one thing up, and I swear to God, you like feel him, you look, and he's staring at you. You're like, what the fuck? And like he would just look at you, and then just
And
kind
you
of like
knew.
walk away, and you just knew. Like he just had this aura about him where he almost didn't even need to say anything, and you just wanted to kind of like please him, and almost like just like a good team leader. And I think that's really important, is to like not micromanage people, kind of let them make their own mistakes. And kind of give them some artistic freedom. It's like, I might stir this way, and then this person might stir that way. If we get to the same exact result, why do I need to stand over them? And you know, I used to be that guy, trust me.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I want to hear people out and see how they do things, because it might be better than the way I do things. I don't know.
You may learn that.
For sure.
You know, that's something Adam Jones from Jupiter Donuts, that's what he said too with his artists. He's like, I just let them do their thing. Let them explore what they want to do, and let the art come out and let it be what it is.
You got to, man, because like you're always at the final pass. So you're always like, if they make something that's totally fucking stupid, then just like don't put it on the shelf. You know what I mean? Or
Totally.
like, you know,
Totally.
if it's not good, don't sell it. But let them try, or else you'll never know what they're capable of. Like there's girls who work up front there who love baking at home, who bring us stuff that you're like, holy shit, this is great. Like you made this, like you know, you
Right.
never know what someone can do. So
Sure.
yeah.
And did you start sort of like as an artist that fell into culinary, or like a culinary that turned into an artist? Like how did that work out for you?
Yeah. So like
Good question, Mike.
and it's a weird thing.
And don't be scared to hop on that microphone a little bit.
Yeah, so my bad. It's a weird thing because we get that a lot in the factory, where people think that I like come from an art background, which is like super flattering and all, but like I have no art background whatsoever. The story behind the sculptures and all that shit was, I got all this machinery from all over the world, mostly from different applications, like to make like cement mix, or like cosmetics, or like there's no like, I'm just going to buy a small batch chocolate factory. You'll have to kind of figure it out. So we start running some of this shit through. Some of the machines are from like 1902. So
Hell
like,
yeah.
you're like flushing out rust and all sorts of shit. And like the minimum batch size is like 200 kilos. So you're like fucking up astronomical amounts of chocolate. And I just had these bricks sitting there, and I was trying to contact other people in the industry. I'm like, what do you guys do with like your fucked up batches?
Right.
Like, it's painful, but you just toss them. And I couldn't do that. So I just started, I don't know, dude, probably hammered one night, just started fucking around at like 2 a.m, and then got obsessed with sculpting. And
Hell yeah.
that, you know, I don't have as much time to do it as much as I once did with the business going the way it is. But that's like, if I could sculpt all day, I would do that, honestly.
That's a good problem to have, though.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so wait, you were like chiseling into a block, or how does this work?
So I tried a couple different ways. I've like straight up chiseled into shit. It wasn't working so well. So then I started more like how you would form clay, basically. And you can add like a little corn syrup even, so you have like a little more time to work with it. It's a little more pliable. You can do some pretty fun shit. Like with chocolate, there is like old school competition, believe it or not. There's like all these competitions all over the world where you got to make showpieces and stuff, but it's mostly like, how do I explain? It's almost like architecture. Like there's technique to it, and there's molds pre-made from some place that they flew them in, and you just kind of assemble it. As where there's no one really, not many people really like hand sculpting with chocolate, just like the brute kind of old school way. So it makes for some weird shit. It's pretty fun, man. Yeah.
And tell us some about that weird shit.
Fuck yeah, we've made some weird. If you walk into the factory, there's like 850-pound head on the table. There's a snowman that's still standing from last year. That's like 350 pounds. I'm
That's
gonna
incredible.
knock it down after this Christmas.
How
but
big is a head that is 850
Oh, dude,
pounds?
yeah, probably like this table to like the ceiling. It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
How long will that
pretty big.
take?
I usually work on it in small patches, and I wasn't in like the best state of mind at the time. Like as you can tell, at this time in my life, I'm not drinking. You know, I'm clear-headed. At that time, I was all over the place.
I respect that.
A lot of those things. I mean, it makes for some great artwork because like those times where I was sleep deprived and all that, it was almost like you would come to.
Right.
It's like 3:30 in the morning, and you're just standing there. You have this 9-foot sculpture in front of you. You're like, what? Like it.
Sure.
Now I overthink everything because I'm actually sober, and it feels weird. I'm making logical decisions, more logical. You
I
know,
it's like 10 a.m. and I'm drinking a White Claw, and you're making me question my whole life right now.
No, but that's like I just see if I could have a couple White Claws in the morning, I would.
Sure.
But I can't. I'm like an extremist in every aspect of my life, and I mean, shit. If I want to start running, I'm gonna try to do an ultra marathon. I'm gonna blow my knees out. If I pretty much destroy everything there's ever any way of like having balance in. I just destroy it. I go too hard.
It's actually super admirable just to go all in on something like, like there's a lot of people that want to be like, a generalist or just like a little good at a lot of things. And, I think there's something to be said about just like owning your niche, owning your brand, owning what you're all about.
Yeah, for sure. For me, it's like all or nothing, and it's funny, dude, because like anything I try to moderate, it never works out. And it's not like I have a hard time with nothing or a hard time with it. It's like you just got to choose. It's all or nothing, and I'm pretty good at that. Like I can rather not do it, or if I do it, I got to go all in. But there's no moderation for me in anything, dude.
What's the love for sculpting? Is it the flow state?
I think it's I mean, it's super hard for me to like kind of like shut my brain down. I guess I'm always like I don't sleep a lot. I actually just had like a bunch of like neuro and like psychological testing done on me, and they found that like the average person operates at anywhere from like a negative 2.5 to a 2.5, and this isn't like as far as like I'm not trying to sit here saying like anything about like IQ or smart, just how fast shit's firing off in your brain. And they said the average person is a negative 2.5 to a 2.5, and I was operating at a 5. So they were saying like you're almost in a state of like full blown mania right now. We need to get you like calm the fuck down, dude. Like I went through some shit past couple of months where from the business everything, I just I was going too hard, and that's why I'm not drinking. That's why I'm not doing anything, because I just gotta focus on the business. Focus on what's important, and just kind of stay calm, because that's very hard for me.
Dude, you're like Bradley Cooper from Limitless, man. Like,
that's what I was
put some
saying.
chocolate in your
but
blood.
there's a limit, dude. But there's a limit. That's the thing. Yeah, you don't want to reach that, man. And
it's cool though. Like, it's really nice to hear you have that awareness of how you operate and what's a best version of you and how you want to live your life. So. Cheers to you for
kudos
actually.
to that.
Yeah,
you.
It's cool. We're we laugh with every single guest that sits across the table here. It's like, very similar. It's like so clear on where your strengths and weaknesses are and how you can impact the community, and like you've really made a name for yourself, and I think you've got a cool brand that's you know, really gonna maybe grow from Delray Beach and pop off somewhere else in Florida too, right?
No, thank you very much, man. And that's like, that's the thing now. Like I'm just I'm starting to see. I mean, I always saw the opportunity, but like I have this huge opportunity here, and it's something that I can really screw up, or I can grow into whatever I want it to grow into. And I'm at a point right now where things are getting serious, and I just have to be kind of calm and collected. And before I was all over the place. Like my employees would tell you, like there's Tyler doing his Nordic ski walk. Like I would just like hands down, like just flying, just like literally the amount of times I'd walk around the factory and just like be like sprinting in circles. But it was like almost like at the end of the day, you really go to look at what you've accomplished, and it's not much. You're just like running around a frantic mess, like micromanaging everyone, almost stressing out about what could happen, but then like not doing anything, you know? As we're in business, I think it's much more effective to like sit the fuck down. Don't run around so much. Even if you only make a couple decisions that day and you don't do anything else, as long as you make those couple calm, collected decisions, that's going to impact your business more than any like little thing you're going to make in the kitchen. Like that's great and all, but there's certain decisions that I was making under the wrong state of mind when I was running all over the place, where I would just say yes to stuff or no to stuff without even thinking that like come back to bite you in the ass.
One of our mentors, Gary V.
Yeah.
You know, he's like a big proponent of just, you know, assuming like in a sense, like hoping that people are operating from positive intent and you know, like micromanaging is just like the absolute worst thing that you can do. Like, you know, it's almost like give me a reason to fire you. And like, I'm going to think you're kicking ass until you give me a reason to fire you type of mindset, you know?
Yeah.
And that's hard, I'm sure, as a perfectionist and an artist, which I'm sure that you are as well. You know, it's tough to deal with, you know, is somebody else's 75% good enough for my 100%?
Exactly. And I've gotten to the point where, and it's been a crazy journey. It's been like a really fast year, but I have a team right now that's like, I mean, dude, like the shit. Like honestly, everybody there, like I mean, they crush it, you know. And whether I'm there or not, they're gonna continue to do the right thing, and I truly trust these people. But it's hard, man, because you're manufacturing. So it's like if usually, and the way I do look at it is an art form, you know. Like I wouldn't want to call myself an artist, but like a lot of the stuff we do in there is like very, say like artsy shit. It's something you're putting your, like I designed that freaking packaging.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I designed the mold for the damn bar. I designed everything. I mean, like that's my thing that I made.
Right.
And to see someone just like slop a fucking sticker on crooked with a fingerprint on it, or like, it's like, wait a minute. So like I went to the jungle. Okay. Like almost got my head chopped off in like San Pedro Sula, Honduras. Like literally got caught in between, like, I mean, like
researching chocolate.
Just going into the field trying to actually find it, and then like teach fermentation on like proper genetics, like find something truly special and unique to like what we could do here.
I love this,
dude. And to go through all that, we import directly. I'm wiring money directly to farmers. We have jute sacks of cacao sitting in the fridge there. We hand sort through every damn cocoa bean. We roast it. Like the amount of shit you got to do to even come out with this finished product, and then to have someone just like, you know, like do something sloppy. It you know.
Can we document that?
Yeah, of course.
From farm, bean, all the way to production.
Hell yeah.
A little time lapse.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick.
You know, you don't have to twist my arm too hard to travel. It's
dude,
it is one of my favorite things to do.
I wanted to go to Tanzania soon on a little cocoa adventure, you know.
So I hear you keep saying like words like dude and gnarly. So are you a skater or a surfer? What's your background? Where did you? Is this South Florida lingo?
No. That was my first love was skateboarding.
Not a boy.
I grew up. I actually quit wrestling, which like, I mean, God bless him, but like I know broke my dad's heart, but he tried to pretend like it was okay, but like I know it wasn't. I like quit. It's like a state champion wrestler to like go skateboard at the skate park and grow my fucking hair out into like dreadlocks, whatever I had. And I used to like from probably 10 to like 16, 17, that was almost like my whole life, dude. Yeah. That was my shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can relate.
Yeah, we both grew up as like surfer skaters as
Did you?
well. So,
Yeah.
No shit.
you know.
Yeah, and same thing for me. My mom wanted me to play baseball, and it kind of turned into I was getting way better at skateboarding.
Yeah.
And it was like, nah, you're not quitting baseball for that.
You're like, yes, I am.
Right.
No, it's fun, man. That's and
Do you still do it?
I do, man. But then I get stupid. Like like Thanksgiving
you
with
get
my
extreme with stuff.
a little bit, you know. Some, I mean, yeah.
Starting to see a trend here, Spence.
Yeah, yeah. There's some weird,
Vert or street or what?
a little bit of everything. I've been
Yeah.
dying to go down to Brian Piccolo and try to, hit up the vert ramp, but
Yeah.
like I don't, no one will go with me, and I know that I'm probably gonna like. I
We
don't
know-
want to just like knock myself out. And
we
be
know a
alone
few
there,
guys.
you know?
Have you ever been to Kona and Jacksonville?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yes.
Kona's legendary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like the
Kona's-
best spot.
I watched my friend knock his 2 front teeth out on the snake run there.
Yeah,
That
Pretty
snake
nice.
run's
We
so
love the snake
fucking
run.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we went to UNF up there.
Okay,
So and they had a
College
student.
night.
Yeah, they had a student special.
dude, hell yeah,
it was like $2 Tuesdays. We're like,
we're going.
Every Tuesday.
Oh,
be
that's
like, well,
awesome.
I got $20 this week for beer and food. I guess I can put 2 of those bucks
A
towards.
skate park
Yeah,
for
yeah,
4
yeah.
hours.
Totally worth it. That's sick that you guys come from the same background though. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. But then like, that's kind of where I fell into like a horrible crowd of people. Honestly, there's a lot of people who are amazing who I still keep in contact with through all that. But like, man, growing up in Delray, man, had a lot of friends pass away. A lot of drug overdoses, a lot of sketchy, whether it was a car accident or like murder, like crazy stuff over basically kids growing up in a $10 million home, rolling around with like a gun thinking that like, it's like Grand Theft Auto. It's a weird world down here, man, where
Yep.
everyone's coddled and
I
it's like
agree.
you're
with
growing
you.
up in private school, running around with the 8-ball of cocaine when you're in fucking 6th grade. Like what are you doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
For sure, Palm Beach County has its own unique dynamic. There is definitely a very high class and a very low class. And there's extremes there. Absolutely.
Dude, isn't Riviera where I was just driving? Isn't that like, that's where all the shit pops
You definitely,
off, isn't it?
you probably drove through some ghetto to get here.
Yeah.
But Singer Island, where Media Zone is actually so nice.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
where you come out of
beautiful here.
Riviera. You're like, that's the same, and you come off a highway and off Atlantic Avenue. It's
Yep.
like, and it's getting pushed back further and further, but
Yep. It's all
It's pretty
growth.
crazy here,
It's
yeah.
all growth. And I think they're doing a good job as far as creating awareness to more of the shit going on down here.
yeah.
At least I hope, But that's part of living down here.
Yeah.
That's part of South Florida.
So I have a question. I've heard there's like a special case, like a special area in your shop. Would you care to elaborate a little
Of
bit
course,
on
yeah,
this
yeah.
special case and kind of what you
there's
do?
There's a
And how
fun.
did
There's
it
a fun
start?
corner. There's a
Yeah.
fun corner.
There's a fun corner. Okay.
Yeah, no, we do the nugs, which definitely looks like weed. That's the point.
Like chocolate nugs.
Yeah, man. I mean, last night when it was the opening for the big digital thing down in Miami. So we're like 400 people passed by the spot at Art Basel, and I mean, we had hundreds of people literally picking it up, be like, "It's only $5." Like, yo, it's not weed, dude. It's like a Rice Krispie treat. It's right in front of your. Oh, sorry, it's right in front of your face. Like, come on. But it really does look that real. I should have brought you guys next time I got you on a kilo bag.
You're a legend.
But it fools a lot of people. We've actually had a lot of people. I mean, I can show you my direct messages on Instagram, but it's like thousands of people just like, they think that you're talking to them in code or something, but you're like, no, it's chocolate, dude. They're like, all right, I'll take that. But like,
How
I
much
got
is that
you. Like
chocolate?
wink face. You're like, yo, it's really chocolate. And we've had people trying to return it even after I've explained everything, saying that it's not weed. And I'm like, it's not weed. You're right.
Okay,
That's the
so
point.
your process is to make this chocolate that looks just like weed.
Yeah.
Is there CBD in it? Is there flavor? Does it just look like it?
So as of now, there's not. You easily could, but they just sell so fast that like we just sell that, and we have gotten some requests for CBD. It's hard to dose because they're all different sizes.
Sure.
And even though you could just come up with something generic per weight, people like to know like exact amounts a lot of the times now. But we've gotten some requests. We're thinking about it, but we've been sending a lot out of the back door. Like we'll get wholesale accounts. I don't
Just
care what
custom
label
orders.
they put on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, like, I mean, there was a period where I was just running around from like bodega to bodega or like vape shop, just handing out samples. So picked up a couple random accounts where we sell them.
And I don't know really what it like looks or smells like, but what you've created, it looks like what I've seen in the movies.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Absolutely.
Only in the movies. Only in the movies. No, dude, it looks super legit and it's super funny. We're not advertising too heavy for it. We're potentially about to launch it on Amazon. So here I am saying like I'm trying to keep a low profile, but like fuck it, I'm about to launch it on Amazon.
Not a boy.
I need a little break from all the stuff because like I told you, like potential court cases, and we had no idea that there was someone else doing it. Like I said, we get custom orders all the time, and I tinker, I figure it out. If someone says they want 50 kilos and they're going to pay this price, it's a no-brainer. I'll make it happen.
Sure.
Like, hi, can I have 50 kilos of chocolate? Like, that seems like astronomical amount of chocolate.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, we're running now, like, I mean, shit.
And like, I don't know, what is that even in pounds? Like,
oh, dude, I
know in the United States,
2.2. But the
kettlebell man knows,
right? Of course. But right now, man, like last night, I'm down at Art Basel trying to deal with everyone asking about the Nuggets and whatever the hell's going on down there. And David, who's our production manager, messaged me and he's like, dude, the chocolate won't pump. So like literally we'll get through the whole process. So you're running it through probably like a dozen machines.
Sure.
And then I swear to God, shit always breaks at the last minute, like a pump or something really stupid. And that's what happened last night. So we had like 335 kilos stuck in a tank. So like almost 700 pounds of chocolate. I think it was closer to like 350 kilos just stuck. Like nothing you can really do. And you always figure it out. We've had stuff go down in there that's insane, like fires, and then fires that turn into like they'll get sucked through the roof through a cyclone and actually like make a fire tornado. Like almost been crushed by. I'm wearing a Band-Aid on my fingers. You can see right now because I fucking cut. You can see my knuckle, dude. Like hey, always something, man.
You know, you're a small business owner and you've got a passion about something and you're getting after it and you're learning as you go. And we're the exact same way in here. You know, it's like, you know, not a lot of people are very vulnerable like you to share, like, you know, hey, these are the things that have happened along the way where I learned, I'm stronger, I'm better from it, you know. And I know exactly, Spence and I in here, we're like, oh, we put this light in, but now we need like something else different here. And now there's a piece of foam or a camera. And it's like, you don't know until you know.
Exactly, dude. And you can like literally, shit, dude, the amount of books I read or things about whether it's chocolate or machinery, or I was taking online engineering courses at night. I mean, all that stuff just goes out the window once you actually get in there. Mm-hmm. And for me, it was really important. We got mixed reviews from people, a lot of shit talking, a lot of people saying like, looks like you have no fucking idea what you're doing. All sorts of like, why are you sharing this? Right. But I wanted to be very transparent since the beginning because I actually doing it, don't get me wrong, it was harder than I thought it would have been. Mm-hmm. But it also happened in a much more organic way. There's not this like magic wand moment. It's kind of like you think that everyone just walks in and makes perfect shit, but they fuck so much stuff up, and there's all sorts of illegitimate shit going on in the background that you never see behind the curtains.
Sure.
And I wanted to make that very visible. I wanted people to see like, you're going to have to like lift this like weird 1,000-pound tank with 2 car jacks from the car because we don't have, you know, like
exactly,
you know, I mean, like you just figure shit out and then you just figure stuff out as you go, man. It's the only way to do things. You ghetto rig things, whatever, man, you get by
ingenuity.
Day to day. Desperation over innovation, like every day. That's what I say to all my staff is like, that's what's fed all of us is getting thrown into a situation we're not qualified for. We have no idea what we're doing, but it's not an option to let it pass. You have to make it happen. So you figure out a way every fucking time.
How did you get that confidence?
Desperation, man. Like I put myself in, I mean, I remember building this place and actually having the machines come off the truck and actually seeing them like almost wanting to run away, like legitimately totally. Like planning my escape. Like I'm just going to hop on one of those sailboats on the beach and just fucking book it, man. I mean, shit, I've been shocked. I fell off the roof onto the air compressor. I mean, I tore my calf and my ACL working on shit. I mean, I hurt myself like a lot in the beginning. But
then you also learned, hey, at that point, you can't do everything either.
Exactly. You got to give up some of that control. In the beginning, you do try to chew everything off, and something's always going to suffer because of it. You got to kind of just like, what I'm starting to understand is like, you know, the coach or the business owner or whatever you want to call it is never playing in the game. Like, you're a part of it. Just as much of a part of it as everyone else, but you're reeling everything back in together. You won't see a coach like, hey, I think you should be doing this step out. I'm going to throw those pads on and I'll do it myself. Like, that's fucking insane. You can't do that. And you have to maintain your distance so you can see the bigger picture. If you get too lost into shit and you're just doing one little task, or you're not going to see what's really going on. And
I mean, I literally just put that quote up yesterday. I said, you have a myopic view while I'm looking from cloud 9 through a kaleidoscope.
Yeah, I saw it.
And it's kind of like, you're so narrow-minded where I'm taking this bigger vision and looking at the further picture, or a snow globe effect of things. And I think that's unique about your business, is you're looking beyond what's already there.
For sure. And I think you have to. I think that's like a mistake a lot of younger, and I'm no one to talk about that, but like a lot of younger entrepreneurs or whatever, what do they call themselves? Like social media influencers, whatever the fuck. Like, everyone's living like so day to day, where it's like, how many likes did you get today? How big was your last, like, you're only as good as your last like post, or your last this, or like this instant gratification sort of like, I just want to make this one hit, and then like the Catch Me Outside girl, you say one line and then now you're famous. Boom. Like, doesn't work that way. I mean, it can, clearly it does. But like, I know for me, I'm trying to think long term, and there's things that I could do that tomorrow would blow up.
Correct.
But then it's also going to implode probably by the end of the week, and I'm going to be fucked. So like, I don't want to deal with that. I want to kind of low and slow. And this is coming from someone who like 3 months ago would have told you like, that's bullshit. Like, people were telling me this is a marathon, not a sprint. I'm like, fuck you. And there I was at like mile 6, like running past them. And then they caught back up to me at like mile 22. I'm like, fuck, help me. Like, they were right, dude. I burnt myself out, and I mean, I almost lost my fucking mind. Like, I went, yeah.
Well, that kudos to you for creating the self-awareness, or whether it forced you to or not, you clearly have it now, and you see the bigger picture.
For sure.
You know, and 3 months, that's a big deal.
Yeah, man.
Hey, well, Tyler, we really, really appreciate you coming into media zone.
Yeah,
definitely, bro.
What do you think about the studio that we've set up here?
Dude, this is awesome, man. Honestly, like, to see you guys doing this locally is so badass, because there's, I mean, it's awesome, but it also breaks my heart. You go to like, I mean, like Lake Worth Ave, I was just at this like local artist's little pop-up, and you're like, there's so many talented people down here that nobody knows about. And for you guys to just bring people in, have a casual conversation, nothing official, where you're on some like, morning show or some shit where you can't say any of this.
Big
like,
platform.
This is awesome. I think this is like invaluable, dude, to the community. This is awesome.
You know, it's another, just sitting here having this conversation once again, it's another reinforcement for us that this is fun.
Hell yeah.
You know, like, I love, there's so much relatability. Like, if you put chocolate aside and you just like actually look at the macro things that are happening, very relatable to another small business owner in Palm Beach County. You just happen to be a very talented artist that can make chocolate look like a sculpture, or like that thing in your dad's drawer. So, I mean, you have to give a shout out, man. Tell us where we can find you.
Totally.
Where do we go look online? Name a couple people that you really want to thank, and let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah, you can find me. I mean, the company is 5150 Chocolate Co. You can find on Instagram, and then the real Willy Wonka _, or it might be _ the real Willy Wonka if that doesn't work. The real Willy Wonka.
It'll pop up.
It'll pop up on there. And yeah, I mean, I definitely want to thank my team. I mean, Carlos, who's been with me through the beginning, has
Hell yeah,
crushed it, man. Absolutely. It was me and him for like the first year, like all the crazy, there was no roof on the ceiling, we're roasting, starting fires, all that shit. So shout out to Carlos, man. Without him, none of this would be possible. David, who's my production manager, who slays it, who now knows all the machinery, who takes care of a lot of the shit that I'm really not good at. Tori, who also slays it, comes up with like crazy, funny, fucking awesome ideas.
Hell yeah.
Amazing team player, super talented, very artistic. Jackie's my girl up front who runs shit. She's the best. She holds it down. And just, yeah, I mean, it's
team,
been crazy,
baby.
man. The
It's
team,
the team.
without the team, and there's times now where I really have had to take a step back and make new accounts. Now I'm trying to go after wholesale, make certain SKU numbers and try to really pitch this thing big time to the masses. And there's stuff that they're pulling off where it's like, I almost feel like they did 5,000 bars this week for a big CBD company. And then we got an order for 5,000 more. And they're like, no, yeah, it's taken care of. It's good. It's all good. Like,
And you're
good.
going, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, and I'm
What?
at Art Basel this weekend, like fucking off. Yeah, it's pretty gnarly, man. And then of course, yeah, got to thank my parents.
Hell yeah.
And just everyone along the way has helped me out, man. It's been awesome.
Hey.
And you guys for having me in here.
Hell yeah, bro. Cheers,
Wow,
bro.
you got everybody there.
Well, and honestly, for the people locally, Palm Beach, if you think this story is relatable and to share with friends, we'd be happy to have other people on like you. And,
Oh, of course, man.
and-
I could send some good guys your way.
Heck yeah.
For sure.
and have a good time, man.
Hey, well, thanks for stopping into Media Zone, and we'll definitely have to have you back in here because I would like to try some of your chocolate.
Dude, I got to come back with a proper tasting. We got to do that.
Bring Carlos.
Hell yeah.
Bring some
Yeah.
chocolate, and
Oh, dude, if
Bring
you
your
heard this shit
skateboard,
from
too.
Carlos's perspective, it'll probably be way funnier because he's the one who would walk in on me at like 4:30 in the morning and be like, it's morning
What the
time.
fuck?
he's like a mad scientist in there.
Oh, shit.
Well, guys, we're not sponsored by White Claw yet,
Yeah.
but we'll
will
even
be.
cheers you, even though you got a nice glass of water
Cheers,
there.
no?
Cheers, bro.
Cheers,
Right on,
guys.